And we're gonna go over there, everybody.
You know what I mean? 15 women can say it. You won't hear it. Now you hear some bass in your voice.
Oh, whoa.
You feel me?
It's a pen.
Put that mask on, buddy. Hello, everybody. This is Carissa Dez at the Justice Center in Portland, Oregon. The original direct action protest is pretty much over. I'm just here with the remaining people who have swooped, quote unquote, and the other people who remain.
Lock your own right now. I'm not gonna cut you off. PDX jail support.
Random people.
PDX jail support. When they come out of jail,
I mean, that's just what. Okay, I'm
this ain't
having
no
a hard
protest.
time
This ain't no run.
focusing.
Get out of jail. We come here and take care.
Anyway.
Tell the right now. Please.
So,
tell the right
yes.
now. Don't tell
And the rest of the people who live down here and just came out to protest, and the medics. So I'm still out here. I still plan on interviewing some people. Here we go. All right, where do you want to go?
So it looks better, yes. But if he spins,
Hey Blake, hey Pam.
Okay, we're talking about my
Where do you want to go?
germophobia,
We're live right now.
we can
Hey
just-
Hot Greek.
Oh. Hello, Carissa stream.
Let's go over here.
This is an autonomous app. You can do whatever you say.
It's autonomous.
Got a camera? Take that shit away. Let's wait in the real
Yo,
story.
man, can I ask you? We're trying to do like.
We're trying to do an interview over here.
But make sure you tell the right narrative. Make sure you tell the right narrative. Don't blame this on. You see some shit burning on stuff.
We're not blaming anything.
So breathe.
We're not blaming anything on you.
Okay. Trying to let you know. I'll protect you.
Hey.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I know. I'm literally just saying like we just.
I know. I'm not trying to be aggressive. Cool. Everybody eat, park, take dip, everybody. For real.
Love it. Love it.
Love it.
Thank you.
Love all of
All
it.
right.
There's no smokers. You know what I mean?
All good.
I see a camera. Ooh, Panther. No good. Just making sure. I take care of it.
Got it.
me, they're good.
Got it. All right. It's Braxton. Get over here.
Yeah, I don't have no
Get over here.
patience for that behavior, but yeah. Anyway.
Over here. Nothing is burning. Anyway,
Ooh,
this
wait,
person
let me
has
show
a
you
problem with streamers. I'm a cop now, apparently, because I'm streaming, even though I asked everybody if they were okay if I streamed. Okay, that was today?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
on the way here. Okay.
Okay, there was a little garbage can on fire. Hello, what is your name, young sir? Wait, let's go over here because there's better lighting.
What is your name, young sir? Can you please start it any other way? Braxton, oh my god. Ew. Alright, I'm gonna stand wait.
Oh my gosh. Hello.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Okay, I'll start over. Give me another
That
chance.
was disgusting. Okay.
Okay, stand up on one of these. All right. Hello,
Oh.
this is Braxton.
Okay. It moves. This is a concrete slab and it's fucking moving. They really couldn't even put it on the ground right?
All right, stand on the metal thing instead. That's dangerous, obviously.
What? You know something? I like danger. Let's
Okay,
do it.
well-
Let's do it. My
All right.
name is Braxton. I have on a Toy Story mask today.
I don't know if I can take you seriously, but I'll try.
Shut up. It is
And you
what
went
it
to
is.
NYU?
Yeah, I'm wearing all the identifiable things. Well, this is a protest hoodie, actually. I don't even, use it in, life anymore because it's got, burn holes in it because somebody shot a firework at me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like you're on a boat in the ocean right now, the way that you're moving around.
Rock the boat. Rock the boat.
Work
rock
the middle. Work the middle.
Anyway.
Okay, anyway, let's get serious here.
Let's get serious.
Okay, let's get down to business. So, did you watch the George Chauvin trial
Yes.
throughout? Did you
Derek-
watch all of it, or did you just
Derek-
kind of? Did I say Derek?
You said George.
Three.
Let's start
Take
over
three.
for the
Take
second
three.
time.
Okay.
We're starting over again. Yes, I did watch the Derek show.
The Derek. Oh, I feel awful right now, you guys.
You're good, Carissa.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Did
I
you watch
watched
them throughout, or did you just watch little clips?
I watched it intermittently because I had to work today, but I did see I saw the important parts, and then I did go back and watch the other important part. So I watched like pretty much like when everybody was oh, am I too far away? When everybody was like talking about, you know, how, or basically anticipating like, you know, what would happen. I was basically, not gonna lie, I was like, oh, he's gonna get off, whatever, you know, like.
I thought so too.
These kinds of things are weird to me because, like, for me, I don't even like do the whole anticipating and like waiting or whatever. And I think I was like talking to you about this before, like, I already had like processed it already emotionally like months ago. So it's weird to like, you know, feel like I'm getting sucked back in.
Yeah.
And what, because people were like, you know, oh, well, what's going to happen? And it's like, it feels like I've already accepted an outcome. So it feels, I don't know, almost regressive when I have to, like, you know, go ahead and, like, wait to see what is going to happen with this trial or whether or not, you know, they're going to acknowledge that a black person got murdered. It's not really, you know, I don't like to think about it, but yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like a positive outcome. So I was like, it was like a
It was very
surprise.
surprising.
Yeah.
I was ready for riots. Honestly, I was.
Yeah, honestly.
I
yeah,
was
me
like,
too.
okay, everything's getting burnt down across the country.
Exactly.
Like,
They're gonna
literally,
fuck
the
city up
country
again.
will be in ashes by the end of the day. But hey,
Yeah, and
sometimes
then
you get
they
surprised.
Made it the good.
Sometimes
a good
we're
decision.
surprised.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, I feel like definitely the court of public opinion played a large role.
what was it?
The court of public
Can you
opinion.
take off your mask? Because I have mine on, and we're like almost 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
Now
court-
you start like sniffling. Okay, put that shit back on. Okay.
The
anyway.
court of public opinion played a large role. You know, like I think the fact that it was a highly publicized trial, and the
Right.
fact that like you know everybody was like hearing about it, and there was gonna be. Is that a reason?
Yep.
Shit. No.
Don't
like,
get sidetracked.
No, they almost got into a fight. Okay, so yeah, if it wasn't so highly publicized, I don't think the jury would have necessarily done the right thing. Because I think that
Agreed.
part of it was the fact that they wanted to do the right thing, and the other part was that there's
They
a
were
lot
afraid of what it would have looked
collateral-
like.
Yeah, exactly.
They were
There's a
like,
lot
do
of-
we want our city to burn down or?
for the 50th time this
Yeah.
year? Yeah, exactly.
That was
So-
another question I was going to ask is, do you think the protests have helped to bring justice or to at least bring accountability to you know, for us toward the police?
Yeah. Like, definitely I don't think that this would have happened. I don't think that, you know, like if everything had just been business as usual this entire year, then I definitely don't think that we would have got the verdict
Everybody's like
that we
going to
had.
work, not protesting.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't think
it
we would have got the
probably-
verdict that we got today. I think they would have
They
just
would've
let
just
him off.
protected
It
the
would have
cops,
just been
yes.
another, like, you know, yeah, exactly. It would have been another situation with qualified immunity for the police officer. But it's definitely like the climate of today, and like the fact that the protest has been happening, and the fact that like so many people feel galvanized by the movement. No.
Do you think part of it was that they felt threatened? They're like, if we don't do the right, quote unquote, right thing,
No.
where there's going to be a riot and we don't want that?
I mean, maybe in the sense of
For
like a
some
riot.
people.
I wouldn't say threatened, though. George Zimmerman is literally still alive, just living with his government name, wandering the
He's
streets
being
and
proud
working
of
and
what
all
he
that
did,
shit.
actually.
And yeah, selling the gun that he shot Trayvon with for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So like, yeah, like when it comes to like, will a juror feel threatened because like, you know, they're doing something for a black person? Sincerely doubt it. Nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to the cops. Nothing happens to the racists. Nothing happens to the people who like ran over Liz's daughter, Shatamra. Nothing happened to him. Like when
I
it
didn't
comes
even
to,
hear
like,
about that.
That's why Liz was like out here so much. Well, not why, but you know.
I think I might have heard about it once. Like, I think she spoke once and I heard it, but
Yeah,
sadly I forgot about it.
Shatamra was
I remember
16.
actually now that you're saying that, I remember saying Shatamra twice.
Yeah, Shatamra
at
was like, I
protests.
want to say 15 or 16, and like some white man just ran her over, and nothing happened. She got a crosswalk, like where she got killed, and that was like 2.5 years after the fact. So like when like Letha's out here, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's hard
I
to
just
have
talked to Yaya,
expectations.
who was JFPK's.
Yaya?
Yaya, who was Patrick Kimmitt's cousin, apparently. Anyway, I interviewed them earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah. But yeah.
so yeah, so I think that the protests have helped. Do you think that anything is going to change like within the 8 weeks before he goes back to court, like, do you think that he'll probably appeal?
Yeah, I mean, thing is though, he's in Gen Pop the whole time, so he's still in jail. It's pretty cool that he's gonna sit in jail the whole time next to me.
Yeah. Does that make you happy, or are you still angry? Like,
Huh?
are you happy about the verdict?
That's a good question. How do I feel about
So
that?
I personally was happy for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I was just angry again because another
I was surprised.
teenager was killed in Columbus, Ohio by the police, another black teenager.
Yeah, they can't reel it in for like 10 fucking seconds. You would
Within
think
an
they
hour
could stop
of all
killing
that.
black and brown people and their children for like a day. But no. So like when I think
And-
about happy, probably no. But I was surprised and a little bit relieved.
I mean, like, I was happy, relieved, of course, for like a short time, but then you like remember that it's just
yeah.
a small
Fleeting.
victory.
And yeah, and it's like, and also doesn't really make a dent. It's nice though, because it's like, you know, I feel like we should acknowledge, I just realized that somebody disabled the streetlights. We should acknowledge, like, you know, when these things do happen, like this is like a step in the right direction, and obviously like, you know, the jury did, but it's not like I feel like Black Lives actually matter, if that's what you're asking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I personally think that it's the first step in police accountability, but I think that we have a long way to go, and I think it's going to take a while before we do get that accountability and before we do see change in the system.
I would agree, definitely.
Because, I mean, I think we both can agree that it's not just the police, but it's the system.
Oh yeah, definitely. The
that we
system
live
that
in.
like created the police. And look, there's like 4 police cars going by now. For no reason. 3, 4.
Because we're out here.
I know, because we're standing here, and that's what I mean. Like they're here. If they were to elect to get out of their car right now, and like, you know, then they would start shit for no reason, just because we're standing here. Like the chance that somebody gets seriously hurt by the police obviously just like skyrockets just because they want to show up when people are just being peaceful. And so yeah.
And you were saying, what is the percentage of black men who?
Oh Lord.
What was you?
I don't know
told me
the percentage, but it's the leading cause of death between 20 and 45. Homicide
For black
is
men?
the leading cause of death for black men. Yeah, not necessarily homicide, but it's like literally just emblematic of like the black community and the way we have to live.
And you told me yourself that you, I mean,
Yeah.
sorry for bringing this up.
No, you're good.
Are you cool with me?
Yeah.
But you said that you have a fear that you'll be murdered by the police,
Oh, definitely.
like on a daily basis.
Yeah, not so much on a daily basis. It's more that like I totally can see like interactions like the one where the guy was in uniform and he got like pretty much like that was a very disturbing video actually, more disturbing than
Which one?
The one where the one with the soldier. Hold on.
Oh yeah, and then he got pulled over at the gas station, and they pulled him out
And
and
then
like
they,
treated
like,
him with
pepper-sprayed him
no
a bunch.
respect at all.
And and he was like, I'm scared, and they were like, you should be.
Could
and
you
all that
imagine
kind of
if
shit.
that were a white person? Like,
That
I
would
could
have never
not have
happened.
imagined it going
And,
down that way
yeah,
if it were a
also,
white
like,
person.
I don't know if I would keep my cool in those kinds of situations. He responded very calmly and collectively.
It made me cry
because
because he was like, I'm scared, and you could hear the fear in his voice.
Yeah.
Like he probably
Yeah.
thought like, this is
a
the day that I
grown man-
die.
A grown man.
I'm not doing
who's
anything
in
wrong.
The army, and he's like terrified. And yeah, and they're literally in his fucking uniform. And I'm like, I wouldn't have been in a uniform. I probably wouldn't have been as respectful. I wouldn't have said, yo, I'm trained. He literally said, I'm trained to follow orders. I'm getting out of the car. I wouldn't have said that.
He put his hands up.
Yeah,
He
like,
was cooperating.
So many things in that video and like that I probably wouldn't have done. And that's probably the only reason he was alive. It's not to say that they treated him better. That's probably the only reason he was alive. And so when
Because
it
he
comes
was
to,
like, I'm here to serve. Like, I'm doing whatever
yeah.
you
And
tell me
I'm
to
just
do.
not that conciliatory as a person, so I don't know. And that's the kind of thing. If that was like, if these are interactions, the interactions that I see on TV every day, if I were to have one of those interactions, yeah, I'd probably die.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly, I mean, it's not the same, of course. But I even worry about that too. Like a lot of my white friends get pulled over and they're like, oh yeah, I got off with no ticket. They just gave me a warning. And I'm like, really? I have like been super nice to police and I always get a ticket no matter what. Like, yeah. So.
Because you're quite beautifully brown. That is
Nicely sun-kissed.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Braxton.
What's your name, good sir, young sir?
Thank you so much for interviewing with me. I'm gonna go find some others to interview. I don't know if I want to interview this guy, but I feel like he's kind of getting into
Tell him what
fights
you
with
told my
people.
girl. Tell him what you told my wife. Tell him. Just tell him, nigga. No, tell him what you told him. I'm sorry. On GDs, tell him. What you tell him?
Now we've got gangs.
He told his wife something. I don't
He
know.
said on GDs.
No, did you hear that he said, do I look white to you? I mean, I feel like I'm pretty brown. Braxton. He's trying to break up a fight. Hey. Okay, where are the other people that I was going to interview? Yes, Anthony. I went around and asked everybody if they were okay with me live streaming now because the protest from earlier is no more. I literally went around and asked everybody if they were okay with if I interviewed people, and they said they were fine, especially the people in Black Bloc. And actually, I'm going to interview the most Black Bloc person here. Said that he actually wanted to be
On TV.
on TV. So here we go.
Carissa's gonna put
I
him
think
on
it was
TV.
that guy over there. Why he wants to be, you guys watch out, cars coming. Why he wants to be on TV in his Black Bloc, I don't know. I don't know.
We don't have to know. We don't have to.
But
All we have to do.
we'll figure it out, I guess. Excuse me. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. I don't know his name. Or their
man.
name. Hey.
What's up?
Were you the one that said that you wanted to do an interview with me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you want to go over here in the light?
Okay.
Okay. Are you sure you're okay in your block doing an interview with me? You feel like you're pretty blocked up, so probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, and actually, I'm kind of not really.
You usually don't go to protests?
I mean,
or?
I don't care that much as much as other people as about my obsec. Could I possibly
Okay.
see like how I look
Oh,
in?
hang on. You want to see what you look like? Okay. You look pretty fly.
I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a second to. I like your boots. Thank you. Would you have any like a bottle of water or something?
I don't. I just have canned water.
That's fine because if you.
I just have this one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. But I think there are over at that table. If you ask them, especially if you give the donations, they will.
Okay, because I just need something to like wipe my mouth and like calm down just a little bit.
Oh, beforehand?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Look at his boots.
He's nervous.
They're shiny.
Those are nice boots.
He keeps them nice. Actually.
You keep them
That's
nice.
what I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't even do anything, dude.
No, I'm literally just saying like there's no creases even. Keep them like.
I didn't hear what you were saying
What
because
the
I
hell?
wasn't
Yeah,
paying
they're
attention to the
corporate.
chat.
Pay attention to people's things.
I'm just curious. Are you like just live streaming or? Okay, cool.
I'm live streaming.
Is it like a channel or just a personal?
I am independent media, and I
Okay.
work with a couple local small news companies.
Okay.
But this will just be on my personal page.
The winner.
Segregation was good. Yeah, no.
What?
That's racist.
Who said that?
Somebody block that person if I have mods.
Well, segregation.
Where did you get your mask?
Huh?
Where did you get
I
that Woody
decided
mask?
that I needed more fun ones because I
Yeah,
always just wear
okay.
a black one. So
Just curious.
I have this one. I have one that says
not
Friends
judging.
all over it.
Like the TV show Friends?
No, yeah, I don't like that show.
Yeah, I don't actually either. Or The
I
Office.
watch. Yes. Oh my.
Okay,
God,
we're the only ones.
No, because fuck those shows. They're actually not funny. Like, not at all. Like, I get why
Thank
people
you,
like
Amy
them.
and Fred.
I'm not
I mean, I understand why.
Yes, I get the appeal, totally.
I don't actually get the appeal, or else I'd probably watch
I
it.
do. Like, you know, it's
yeah.
one of those,
I
like,
mean-
housewifey TV shows.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those feel-good sitcoms.
Why? Oh, I already saw that.
What's up?
Who is the other? No, I'm just Des right now. Who was the other? Oh, Reese wanted to be interviewed. I went around asking people if it was okay to live stream because,
Who's gonna put all the names on the wall?
because I know the protest that was here earlier is not here now, and everybody. I talked to everybody in block and they were cool with it. So.
Oh, there's my favorite person.
Who?
John.
Oh, there he is.
I'm gonna beat his ass. He gives me a reason. Oh, my bad.
Allegedly.
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 You always forget that I'm live.
I just don't care.
When you're ready, I'll be over here. Hey, David. Did you find some water? Oh, hello. Hello, little pupper. Gigantic pupper.
Yes.
Hi, how are you? We're finally gonna hang out.
I missed you.
This is Watson, my friend's dog.
This is my friend. Watson is my friend.
Watson is our friend. Watson left
is
hair
the
all
friend.
over my apartment,
Look at
but I
this.
did not care because he is very cute.
Right? I love you, Watson. I love you so much.
This
Yeah,
is what
I'm gonna
Braxton
be-
does with his time.
I love dogs. This is what Braxton
This
does.
is just, we're just getting ready for the interviews,
Every
guys.
time I see a dog. He's so big, I can't pet all of them like at once.
He's bigger than you and I. He's literally bigger than I am.
He's becoming the Antifa mascot dog, I think.
Augustina, would you like to do an interview with me?
I will totally do an interview with you if you do an interview with me.
I do not like to do, I like to ask the questions. I don't like to actually answer the questions.
I
want the
I will
other
answer
side
any
now.
questions you want. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Seneca, would you also do an interview with me?
Seneca,
I know who you are.
If you do an interview with her, then you have to do an interview.
Look at this. I thought I was under the radar.
No, that's cool. It's
You
cool.
don't even know me, but I follow you on Instagram.
You just gave me wine,
love
so
you
we're friends
so
now.
much.
Actually,
Wait, where did you get that wine? Happy birthday.
Saturday.
okay.
Oh, this
All
Saturday.
right, so you can ask
Okay. We're gonna interview this gentleman here, or sorry,
I'm,
I don't know what you go by, but
I go by Rachel.
Rachel. Okay, Rachel.
Sings.
She, they?
She, preferably.
okay. I'm glad I asked.
He called someone on the intercom to get something to drink for me. My mouth is dry.
Okay. Were you not able to get water?
No.
Okay. Well, I will interview you as soon as you get that water. He looks busy, so I will interview them at first.
I'm gonna.
Who wants to interview first? I have questions. It'll be a short interview.
It's fine. You can interview. me first. We'll
Okay.
just interview. You guys can watch me be interviewed.
Okay. This is my good friend Augustina.
Hello, people.
She
How you
is
doing?
filming a documentary here in Portland.
It's called Anthem 2020. You can follow it on IMDb.
Oh wow, it's on IMDb.
It is on IMDb.
And also,
It's like real and everything.
you
I do
have
live
a radio station, or you're a
I
Do a
am
podcast?
a contributor to
Contributor.
XRFM. I am
Okay.
also a contributor to a journalistic collective in the Midwest, and I'm an actor. So all
do you
of the
okay?
things.
Do you not say actress?
Literally all the time.
I say
No, I don't.
actress,
Like, you know,
actor,
it's literally not that.
whatever it is.
Whatever
Tell
comes.
your language.
Whatever,
Okay.
whatever comes out of my mouth is what I say.
Okay. I was just curious because I'd heard you say that before, and I was
Yeah.
like, when I say actress, is this wrong?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
actor is all encompassing. It's kind of like saying they.
The way we're talking right now.
And when you say actress, you're gendering, and I am definitely cis female, but you know.
But you may play more masculine roles.
I mean, dude, if somebody would let me play Hamlet, I would be stoked.
I mean, who wouldn't be?
Yeah,
who wouldn't
right?
be? I would do it.
Yes.
You're a thespian.
I am, well, that comes with a lot of connotations. No.
Okay, somebody said that. Okay, no. She is an actor.
I am a dramatist.
What was my other
Watson
question?
really likes you. Is that cool?
Oh, so
Pretty
somebody
cool?
was asking
All right.
how they can find you on social media. You're on Instagram and you live stream from Instagram
literally
as
on
Augustina
Instagram
Elizabeth,
right now.
Augustina Elizabeth? Is
Augustina
that-
Elizabeth,
Okay.
all one word. August with an INA, Elizabeth like the Queen. And that's across all
Like the
social media
Queen.
platforms in one way or another. I think my TikTok is Augustina, the real Augustina Elizabeth, and I think Snapchat is Augustina Elizabeth PDX. Twitter is just Augustina Liza because they don't give you enough characters for your name.
Okay.
And Facebook I hardly use, so don't hit me up there because I have like 800 friend requests that I still haven't gotten to.
All right. And your dog is a Shiba Inu?
No. My dog is an American Akita.
American Akita.
Yes,
Okay,
his name
people are
is
asking.
Watson, and I
And he is
rescued him.
beautiful. I love the little black little dimple things.
His freckles.
Little freckles.
Yeah, he's pretty cute. I rescued Watson in December and brought him home. He has some separation anxiety issues, which is why he's out with me, because otherwise my neighbors say he sounds like a child crying and dying.
Yeah, that was my old poodle. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get down to business.
Yes.
Did you follow the Derek Chauvin trial throughout?
I did,
Okay.
but I did not watch.
I didn't watch all of it. I kind of watched little clips here and there because it was very emotional, and it was a lot. I mean, I work, so it's like send me the clips. Okay.
Yes.
But did you watch the verdict today?
I did watch the verdict today.
What were you doing when you watched the verdict? I personally was eating sushi. I was like, I need to self-care while I'm watching this because I'm about to freak out.
I was cutting a sweet potato and an onion, and I remember holding the knife in my hand very carefully, like viscerally feeling it all, because I'm an actor and this is what we do. Remembering the moment and being present in the moment as the verdict was read, and remembering that 40 or 50 or 60 years from now, I'll remember that I was standing in my kitchen that I need to clean, cutting a sweet potato for lunch during this verdict.
Okay.
Your dog is very
And how did you feel when you heard the verdict that he was guilty on all 3 counts?
Relief, elated, and then overwhelmed. Because
Did you feel like we did it? Like, we did it, we're done.
No.
Okay.
I felt like, I mean, the real telling point, whether or not this is the landmark case that people are making it out to be, is what's going to happen with the trial that starts a week from now. What happens with those other 3 officers? Do they also have to face accountability, or was Chauvin the sacrificial lamb that they put up on the pyre to burn just to appease everyone? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I've
Just
been
so there wouldn't
wrestling-
be riots.
So there wouldn't be riots. And that's kind of what I've been wrestling with all day, you know, like, yes, it's a start, it's great. They acknowledge the fact that George Floyd was murdered, but how many hundreds of people are murdered in this country and have been murdered in this country? And just in the last month, 40 black and brown people, including multiple minors, have been murdered.
Just during the trial.
Just during the trial. Just during the trial.
A teenage girl a teenage black girl was murdered by the police.
As the verdict was being read,
Within the hour.
I got the alert on my screen like right afterwards. Like it's connected to me, and all I see are her shoes, which were fly. They were fly as fuck. And like, I don't know. I mean, it's like, yay, we had a moment, and it was a moment, and now we're back to the
Exactly.
moment.
I was happy for a few minutes, and then I was like, you know what? No, I'm still angry, actually. And this this child was just murdered. Like, what do we do now? Where do we go from here? What do you think?
Where do we go from here? Well, you know, I've been thinking about this a lot too, because I feel like my place as a documentarian, as a journalist, is to document what other people decide to do. If it were me, where we would be going from here is we would be upping the pressure on City Hall to
How do we do that?
further defund the police. We mobilize. We start writing letters. We flood them with physical fucking letters. Every time a physical letter comes into a congressperson's office or City Hall or the mail or the mayor or any of the council people, anytime a physical letter comes in for an issue, it has to get attached to the file on that issue. We should be filling file cabinets full of physical letters. We should be...
Aren't people already doing that, though?
No.
They're not? I assume they were.
No.
Because I know a lot of Black Lives Matter local mom groups are doing that, and I get emails for them. So I'm just honestly assuming that it's already happening.
They're giving emails, but very few people are actually sending
Like, I've
US.
signed quite a few emails which are in place of actual letters, because I'm like, I would rather send an email than,
It's easier
waste
to-
paper. It's not just about ease. I'm like, I'm not wasting paper, and it hopefully gets the same message across by
But
signing
it
these
doesn't,
petitions.
because an email goes into a folder on a computer. An actual physical letter actually gets physically attached to the public record of the issue.
Okay, so you're saying that the next step would be to send letters in to our public officials.
No, I'm saying that is a step.
That's one step. Okay.
That is one step. I think that, again, it's not for me to say. It's not for me to direct this movement. It's for me to participate and to document this movement.
Yeah, and I personally think that your opinion matters when it comes to, I think all of our opinions matter. Like, those who are organizing, they should take in all of these ideas, not necessarily go along with them and put them into motion, but at least listen to these ideas of why, or I think that you're indigenous, right?
I am not indigenous, but I am not white.
Okay, I forget exactly what it was, but anyway, white, indigenous, other, you know what I mean? Like, I think that everybody should have their say and like, at least get an opinion in. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, white passing and white people should not put ideas into the hat. But ideas are ideas.
But here's my thing. I have two nephews, and both of my nephews are black. And their likelihood of dying is 1 in 1,000. Both of them are under the age of 30. 1 in 1,000 black men in this country die by the hands of police or are incarcerated.
And a very high percentage of black men die from gun violence or violence in general.
And that's another statistic entirely. I'm just talking about police in general.
Police.
I do not want to live in a world where I have to worry about my nephews getting pulled over because the taillight is out. I will not live in a world where I have to worry about that. That is my entire motivator, is documenting this and telling a story to make the world better for them. And I think that there's a lot of women who are white and white passing who have black children who feel the same way.
Definitely, I've seen it a lot.
You know, it's another level of concern and care when it's your family, when it's, people close to your heart. And so what I would like to see is on the ground mobilization that has clear and direct objectives. and, you know, talking points and public relations and, you know, more comprehensive journalism. That's what I want to see. I want to see everybody let go of this weird, and I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but I want to see people let go of setting dumpster fires and start going back to speaking truth to power.
Do you want to interview with me? He was looking. Do you want to interview with me? He was looking over your shoulder.
I want to see people speak
Not trying
truth
to
to
be
power.
intimidating.
And speaking truth to power means that you actually have to talk to them. And we've been largely silent as a movement and been doing, you know, covert things all winter. And I think that now it's time to come out into the light and make some demands.
I think we made demands. Not we, but I think the people involved in the movement and the protesters have made demands and they haven't been met. And I think people are getting more angry and they're like,
But the general
well, we
public
need to go
doesn't
further.
But the general public doesn't understand what the demands are. There needs to
What do you
be-
mean? They've been put out there.
How many grandmas do you know that are sitting on Twitter looking at Antifa
They're on
accounts?
Facebook and they've been put out on Facebook.
My mom, my aunts are not looking on Facebook to find information about this.
They do watch stuff like K2 News, though.
They
I'm not
do.
streaming DAs
Okay,
anymore,
K2
Anita.
Our flyer.
K2
The DA is
News
over.
is Sinclair. But that's not the point. The point is it needs to be a
I'm just doing
constant
interviews
messaging
now.
thing.
Right now.
It needs to be 10 talking points that are consistently talked about at every single action, because that's how you get a message across. Because it's repetition, it's marketing, and I hate it, but it's true, and you know that. And you know that.
Marketing.
Yeah.
Now, anyway.
Yeah. So that's just kind of where I'm with the whole thing. I'd also like to see more of a focus go back to Black leadership.
Okay.
And I want to hear from the people that are actually mostly affected by these policies, more than I want to hear from. I mean, I'm a little salty today, guys, because I got into it on Twitter with someone.
I saw that.
I'm just a little tiny bit salty. I apologize. I am trying to be diplomatic, but I am salty. So there's that.
I think the direct action protests have a place.
Yes. They keep the dialogue going.
I think it's part of what's fueling the movement. It's definitely not all of it, but I think the mainstream media kind of portrays it as being the movement.
And that's the problem. And when you're not communicating or allowing other people to communicate for you, your message gets lost. And anybody who works in any kind of activism or marketing or anything will tell you that. Like, you have to have dialogue with the general public. You can't just insulate yourself. And, you know, I mean, we're on the ground and we're in our, like, streamer bubble. Like, we're in our little safe streamer bubble. And we protect each other and we love each other. And I'm not going to go talk to K2 News reporters necessarily. Like, I'm not talking to Sinclair Broadcasting people. They don't frame the story correctly, in my opinion. I got into it on air with one of their reporters this summer. But there are reporters that do want to cover the story. There are mainstream reporters that do, and nobody will talk to them.
Because I feel like a lot of times they put a weird spin on what's happening out here.
Well,
But anyway,
they only have a minute, though, you guys.
That's the main issue is people like tonight, like the guy from Oregonian pulling out a taser
Jared.
on protesters.
Baby boo.
He pulled out a taser?
The guy from the Oregonian pulled out a taser on kids
Can I
in
turn my
Black
camera on you?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was out here watching.
Okay,
Someone
so-
from-
I wasn't
there's two
streaming
people
because
from
I
the
couldn't, but-
Oregonian. One of them was asked not to film. He pulled his camera and started filming people, and then pulled the taser out and started
trying to tase
Trying to tase people in block. And
That was
had
somebody from the Oregonian.
hat on.
Are we sure? Did anyone ask for his credentials?
I mean, he was
We didn't
wearing
ask,
an
but-
Oregonian hat, so.
I mean, you can buy an Oregonian hat.
Yeah,
Who
but who's gonna
would
go to
wear
a
an Oregonian
protest
hat?
with an Oregonian hat?
A chud.
Literally.
He didn't look like a
Saying
chud.
all of these.
I mean, it could have been,
It
but
could have been, but they looked like your basic Oregonian.
yeah. Anyway, let's bring it back to the Chauvin trial,
Yes.
because that's what my interviews are about today. Do you
Okay.
have anything else to say
About the
about the
Chauvin?
verdict? Do you? Okay. I think we kind of already talked about how the protests are affecting what's happening on mainstream media. That was the second question that I would ask.
I have a
Do you have
macro.
anything else to add to the conversation about that?
Yeah, well, about Portland specifically or about the United States?
I would say that, I mean, usually I ask about the Portland protests, but if you have something to say about the Portland or the protests in general
I would
across
be
the U.S.
very, very surprised if we don't see some police reform legislation come through in the next month. Like sweeping,
in Portland or across the U.S.
well, like federal legislation. I would be
Okay.
very surprised if there is not a police reform act coming through that will be passed with budget reconciliation, because the Republicans will not pass it. But I would be very surprised, and somebody can ask me about this on social media in a month and remind me that I said this. But I think there's going to be a police reform bill.
Okay.
And the federal government only has so much reach, but I think it's going to reach as far as it can.
All right. We'll keep an eye on that for sure. Thank you so
sure.
much, Augustina.
You're welcome. Thank
Hope
you.
everybody followed Augustina. She also is live streaming now and has been live streaming the protests since May, end of May, June? Early on, since early on.
May 27th.
Okay, yeah, I started, I think May 29th, but
Yeah.
it was on my personal account.
Yeah, I didn't actually get super. I mean, I started making the documentary right away, but I didn't get super serious about the stream until they dislocated my shoulder, and then I was like, "Fuck
You're like,
you."
I'm on it.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck you." Are you ready? Or where'd Seneca go? Did he leave us?
You should put the mask on.
I want to.
Okay, whatever you want it, whatever you feel comfortable with. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Where did Seneca go?
I don't
Isn't this their car right here?
Yes.
Okay, they'll be back. Oh, he's in there. Okay, you'll be next.
He's like, I am done with these crazy bitches.
You guys see like a sample of
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the stream how you feel about what happened today?
Oh,
Hey, keep
fuck.
streams away.
Okay.
Can't even hear you.
Oh, what did he do?
Ran through the barricade. He ran through the barricade.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I should have got that license plate, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they can all
I don't
get
know what to do in that
license.
situation.
We were getting a license.
Oh, we got another one.
back
Hey,
at,
heads up, heads up, heads up.
2018.
No, that's us. That's us.
It's us.
Okay, when I try to actually zoom in, it's... Okay.
That is.
What's wrong with being a Cali girl? I was born in California, so F you. Anyway,
Oh,
so
yeah,
what is your
we got-
name? Did you say your name was Rachel?
Rachel Saint, Rachel.
Rachel Saint.
I dropped my Instagram handle and all that.
If you want to.
Okay, my Instagram handle is
There's some police over there.
at
YRGFS.
YRGFS
You know, you're on the megaphone a lot.
drug
and-
dealer without the E. So literally, your girlfriend's drug dealer.
Your girlfriend's drug dealer. Oh, that sounds familiar, actually. Okay.
YRGFS drug dealer without the last name.
Okay. So dealer LR at the end. Got
Yeah.
it. No E at the end.Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, did you watch the Derek Chauvin trial throughout?
I did not. I heard bits of pieces of news dropped to me through the grapevine. Just bits and pieces. I actually wasn't really paying much attention to the verdict of the trial itself. Rather, I was.
But you paid attention to the verdict, though.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye out for direct actions and news about stuff like that because I just recently started getting back into.
Oh shoot!
doing,
The fence is gonna go down. Let's. If you're gonna do that, I'm gonna turn this way. Anyway.
Okay. If you.
Hey, you know what? I'm not objecting. I just don't want to. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm
It's
just,
okay.
Getting a bit.
It won't get you. It won't get you.
Okay.
I'll block you.
Okay.
Fucking
Careful.
I just doing an interview. I need a bit of space.
Okay, I think I'm alright. Like,
Okay.
What did you say?
Just done.
Okay. So, what do you think about the verdict? Were you happy after you heard it?
I wasn't. I was a little bit happy. I took my phone out and recorded a video of the live stream of the verdict happening, and I'm going like, fuck you.
Yeah, you were like initially happy.
Because I had just woken up actually, and
Right.
I was kind of in this hungover state.
I get that. I feel you.
And I literally told someone, one of my friends online, oh wait, no, my pessimism just kicked in because
Yeah.
I just woke up. I just remembered that they're going to use this to claim that the police are being reformed, that they are reformed, that everything is okay.
They got him. We're done.
When
Yeah.
15 minutes after the verdict, cops shot another person who does not deserve to be shot, which is 99.9% or so of people who are shot by police. People who do not deserve it. Sorry, that
So-
answer kind of sucked near the end.
No. It was great. I'm just distracted. I'm easily distracted, and there's a light going on behind you. So you think that it's, probably the beginning of accountability for the police, probably, right? That's how I felt.
There's going to be a facade of accountability for the police. This is the start of sort of their counterattack, if you will, in terms of reforms. And I was going to compare it to something, make a historical reference, but then I forgot. Counterattack is the best thing I can think of in this moment. And that will potentially kill the movement, because right now...
Obviously it hasn't. I mean,
because the
but I agree. It could have been a partial attempt. Like, oh, we got this guy, it's over, no reason to protest. But obviously in Portland, the protests haven't stopped, as you see tonight. I was not live streaming, but there were like over 100 people out who were protesting against the police because a teenage black femme was murdered in Columbus, Ohio, right around the time that the verdict was being read.
There's potential that it could not be a successful counterattack because they could fuck up. But what I'm saying is really what was I gonna say? It's on the tip of my tongue, but so what federal reform bills or whatever for the police would do is it would peel away some of the more liberal new people.
Right. That's what I've been hearing.
You know how the protests died down when summer turned to fall and fall turned to winter?
Yep.
The left in America,
They left the
breathes
protest
in
scene.
and out like that. It gets going in the spring and summer, and then dies down in fall and winter. And you
This is the
have
Justice Center in Portland.
sorry.
Oh, I'm telling people this is the Justice Center in Portland. I'm
And
soliciting.
for there to be a successful large socialist movement in America that represents the mass of the people of this country, we need more than fresh blood, so to speak. We need more than
New liberals.
more than just bloody news that gets us out into the streets for 2 seasons out of the year. We
Right.
need to still be out here in fall and winter and
Every day,
with just as many people filling the streets as there are in the summer. That to me is ridiculous. It's
Got it.
I mean, there are people who were out last year who are not here because they
Yeah, I mean, there were
burned out.
thousands of people last year fighting the feds, I think, because they wanted the feds to be gone. So bringing it back to the Derek Chauvin trial, is there anything else that you want to add to that, like about the protests relating to the Chauvin trial?
I think. Yeah, I wasn't able to go out for the protests last year for a variety of personal reasons. I mostly watched from a distance on social media and communicated
Live streaming.
with people out in the streets. This summer, I got back into it for the first time since Occupy ICE back in 2018 because I did not have anyone holding me back anymore.
Got
And
it.
the reason I'm out here and on the front lines is because I am actually unhoused, or rather, I don't have a permanent address. I don't pay. I'm not on a lease. I don't pay.
So
rent.
you're already feeling the oppression and you're ready to fight?
No, I feel that I don't have anything to lose like other people do.
Got it.
I don't have an address, so that's why I can do this right now, not in block, because you can't.
You don't have
dox me.
anything. Yeah, you don't have
And
anything to dox or
And I
yeah.
want to utilize that to leverage it. I'm training to be a street medic. It should still be on. No, it is not.
Well, it's still there. If I ever get maced, I know where to go
I don't have.
in the future.
Yeah, big suggestion: get milk of magnesia.
Not regular milk of magnesia. You heard it here first.
Yes,
All
milk
right,
of
I gotta go
magnesia.
interview this guy before he takes off in his car. But it was
But milk of magnesia 1-to-1 mixture with water, with distilled water.
Distilled water.
And then rinse. Once you splash that over your eyes, rinse with saline.
then you got the saline. Okay,
Yeah, but
good to know.
first get away from the tear gas.
Get away from the tear gas first,
Yeah.
folks.
And if you're going to be at the front lines with a shield in a shield line, get one of these or
Get a
one
little
of
gas
these.
mask. Ask me about it. Oh, you have two. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Tell me your name one more time.
Rachel Saint.
Rachel Saint. Thank you so much. I'll give you a little. I mean, I think it's safe to give a handshake. Nice
Yeah,
to
it's
meet
fine.
you.
Could you send me that?
You can find me on social media. Do you have Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
Twitter?
Let me write it down because there should be a pen attached to the back of my backpack.
Got it. It's like a huge marker.
Yep. Which I forgot to graffiti things.
Allegedly.
Allegedly in Minecraft, that whole thing.
Are you really gonna write? Okay, if you're gonna write it on you, let me write it on you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could just give you my card too. That's
I'll
easier.
lose it. I will
Oh,
lose it.
okay. I'll graffiti my name on you.
Tickles.
All right. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram as Carissa Dez.
Okay, that's your hand. Literally your handle.
That's my handle.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
So how do you feel, like, let me ask you this, how do you feel about direct actions that are
Are
primarily...
you gonna interview with me? Are you still gonna interview with me?
Do you want me to?
I do, but if you can't, it's cool too.
You got a couple questions for me?
Do you want me to interview in your car? Whatever. I mean, it's kind of dark in there, but whatever you want to do, whatever you feel comfortable with. All right. Do you want to go over there, or do you want to go under the street light?
Wherever you want, just take me.
Are you okay going over there? Okay. Oh shoot, this person has the jams. Portland Andy? I don't see Portland Andy down here. Portland Andy, are you here? Don't see him. There's a cop over there though.
Where you live at?
That's where they live though. They live there. All right. So your name is, you go by Seneca, right?
Yeah.
And do you want to give your name, or is that's just what you go by?
You just said it, right?
Got it.
You just said it. Let's go with that. Let's
All right.
stick with that one. No.
I'm Carissa Dez.
Okay.
I don't know if we've like properly met, but I've
have
seen
met.
you and heard you speaking a lot at protests. I've been around since the end of May, watching, sometimes live streaming as well. And I'm just interviewing people. I was supposed to be, doing other work today, but I felt like today was an important date in history because the George Floyd protests have been going on for almost a year now. And today some people say that we have justice, but we got the verdict for the Derek Chauvin trial. Can you tell me how you feel about that? Were you happy when I'm sure you paid attention to the trial and everything.
I'm definitely emotional. And by the way, your fingernails are like mesmerizing me.
Distracting, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was like, you hypnotized me. But yeah, no, I was very emotional. I just felt this roller coaster. It's kind of the same emotion that we went through for the past year. I felt that all in those 15 minutes of waiting and deliberating. I just felt myself go up and down, and these emotions kept peaking, and then it dropped down, and so okay, I can deal with it, and then it was like, oh, maybe I can't. Mm-hmm. So I went through a series of that today while I was listening, as they say, guilty, 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 So.
Were you surprised?
No.
You weren't surprised at all?
No.
I was thinking that he was going to go off, and, be innocent, just like we've seen happen with police in the past. So.
No, I actually did a live before they delivered, and I kind of spoke to people and let them know that this is how it's gonna go, and this is only the guilty, guilty, guilty is only makes sense. That was the only thing that made sense, and that was the only option that I seen on the table, and I was kind of letting people know that. Mm-hmm. And reason being is that it was guilty, guilty, guilty gave us an opportunity to sit back and say, wait, what are we gonna do now? And with that little pause gave some type of well, the city's not on fire, and not only this city, but cities across. The country.
I was thinking that
so
if he went off, if it was the verdict was innocent, everything would have been burned down. What do you think would have happened?
we don't know, do we?
I just like pictured a lot of fire,
Yeah,
a lot
I mean-
of burned buildings. So
Yeah, you know, you're talking about. You're talking about.
You never know.
You're talking about the unthinkable. Obviously, you're gonna see fires out. Obviously, you're gonna see people just doing the unthinkable. But you gotta think about what would that do to people who fought for this long psyche, you know, and that was gonna be the hardest part about it for if it went that way.
yeah.
But other than that.
So what do you think are the next steps? Like after seeing the verdict, for you in the movement, what do you think are the next steps for you?
We have
Or that you see happening for all of us, I guess.
really accepting that what we did worked. I think that a lot of us are sitting here trying to figure out what do we do next. Obviously, we got to do a lot of cleaning up, but we have to applaud, especially here in Portland. We have to applaud briefly for ourselves because what we did, if we wouldn't have did what we did, it wouldn't have been no guilty. And I'm
That's
not just
what I was going to ask too.
Yeah, I'm not saying that on a little scale. I'm talking about Portland was like one of the headrunners of this whole thing, and so if Portland doesn't do what Portland does, there's no guilty. So I think that we need to briefly clap ourselves because all those people who was out here and we were bumping heads and everything throughout this thing. It wasn't perfect, but it gave us that win. Is it the end? No. Is it the do all? No. But it is this. It is something that we can say that look at all our work and say this is what we got out of it. So we have to continue that whole process. Like far as we got everything that we did to get to that point, we gotta keep doing it. But can we organize it and make it a little bit better, make it cleaner, and make it more unified? Yes. So I mean, if I was gonna say if I had to write something out, that's what I would do. I would just say do what we did, but let's clean it up a little bit.
Organize a little bit better. Work together as one rather than.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to organize this movement.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of times I noticed that it was, a lot of random people that would come in and want to support. So it's kind of hard to organize when it's just autonomous like that.
But that worked, right? That worked. So what I could say is organize yourself, and when you say a leaderless movement, it doesn't mean you can't lead yourself. And I think that like the education of ourselves and organizing of yourself and knowing that one person can make a big difference, and I proved that over and over to myself. So I think that was like a very big part of this success that we've seen today.
Yeah. So other than protests, what do you think will help to bring accountability and change in the system, the policing system and the system in general?
Pressure.
What's that?
Pressure.
Pressure?
Yeah, pressure, the overall pressure. We have to continue to add pressure for those things. Like it's like if we let up and get comfortable and fall back to sleep, obviously they feel like what they gave us was enough. So we have to continue to add the pressure and ask for those things. Like if the accountability is what we want and that's what we demand, and then we got to do exactly what we did for George Floyd, we have to do that for that specific issue. And I think that we get lost in like, okay, what are we fighting for? And that's where you get nights like this, like okay, we just got this small victory. Now what are we out here? And I think that we can easily get caught up in that. But we do need to have some direct goals and start attacking it just as hard as we attack this one. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have anything else to add to the basically to the conversation about
you come over here messing up my conversation.
the conversation on police accountability, protesting, that whole topic. Do you have anything to add?
Let me look at your nails one more time, cause there we go. Okay, now ask the question again.
So do you have any? Yeah, there's a lot of distractions around here, guys.
Whoever's down
Okay.
there has a really big dick.
I really love what you have to say, Seneca. I really appreciate you. Do you have anything else to add to the conversation when it comes to police accountability, protesting, anything in that realm of things?
The protesting is what it is. You can't police the protest, so we got to continue to accept the protest for what it is. And don't take that any further than what I just said. Like, we got to this point not because we asked, it's because we demanded. Not because we knocked on the door, it's because we knocked down doors. And we got to continue to do that, and that's it. So it's like, whatever, by any means necessary, we got to continue to do what we've done. Because for what we've done has worked.
Yeah, it's definitely put pressure on the police, on the system to make those changes.
And it's like, and if you think about it in the past, I think that's what made this different. Is because we were able to do that, and it wasn't because it was black people asking. It was black and white, indigenous, and all
Moms, dads,
all
everybody was out here in the beginning,
Right, so it's like, and that put pressure all over the board, and I think that was the amazing success from this, and that's why Portland was a power piece on this board because of the abilities that we had that no other city had.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I've only been in Portland for about 6 years, but I feel like when Portland people do things, they do them hard. They're like, this is what I'm doing, going all in. And I feel like I'm seeing the same thing with the protests. People were like, we started doing this, we're not giving up, we're a part of this, we're going to keep going until we see changes made. I think that also makes Portland people different. I'm not sure why we're like this, but that's something that I personally have noticed
and
living here.
Portland's not afraid to be different.
Yeah.
And that does a lot. And I had conversations like, my talk traumas and one of the things is I had a three-day conversation about called Naked, and
you guys.
Sorry. Yeah, you guys. No, but it was called Naked and
Naked?
Yeah, Naked. All right, Naked. I call it Naked. I don't know. That's just my slang. But it was called Naked, and it was basically tearing yourself down to the bare minimum. I mean, taking everything off, and became nude in all aspects. And I think Portland is a very instrumental, and I say more. If I was to put a title on Portland, it would be Portland is nude. Like it's raw. It's everything that whatever you see is what you get. You know what I mean? And Portland is not afraid to take everything off and say, you know what, I'm gonna stand out here and I'm gonna walk down the street. And
naked a lot of times too.
Yeah, naked, literally naked.
Too.
And I think that's what I loved about Portland and it allowed me to reach, and not being from Portland, it allowed me to be able to reach into myself and say, you know what, I can do this too. And I can be nude, literally and figuratively. I can be nude, and I think that
you can literally be nude here and it's legal. Yeah. Like if I wanted to, I could just walk around. Anyway, that's besides the point.
So I'll do it right here. I'll do it right now. Say I want to. But no, I think that's what was needed. And not caring about what everybody else thought. Portland stood up and said, you know what, we don't like this, and we're gonna show it with our actions and not just verbally or sending a couple of dollars. They got out here,
right?
And they had leaf blowers.
And I feel like a lot of the people who are coming out since the beginning have become radicalized.
Yeah, definitely.
And
baptized in the smoke.
and they're like, you know what, now we're soldiers and we're out here every night to fight. And recently, this is kind of a touchy subject to move to, but I feel like the protests have evolved. I don't really know what questions to ask, but I feel like there's been kind of like a rift in between like the non-violent, whatever, peaceful protests and the direct action protests. And I think that there's been kind of a lot of back and forth with that, and I don't know if you want to speak on that at all, because it is kind of a new thing.
It's not new. It was there.
I mean, it's a new thing that's, you know, being said publicly, I guess. And you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, because I know that it's kind of like a touchy subject.
Well, it's because it's not new. It's not new. It's been going on since the beginning of it, and it might be louder because there's less people, you know, but it's been going on since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just understanding. It's like, it's easy to say that that you can get victory without certain things, but truth is that you needed all aspects to get to where we got, and I think people lose sight of that. Like, I've lost sight of that at times, and then I grew and I understand, wait a minute, no, we need that. So it's just, on all the sides, we keep running into that issue. Like, you might be on over here, and you might say, you know what, we don't want megaphones, but the megaphones are what help keep the crowd here, you know. And then you're like, well, we don't want no broken windows, and we don't want this. But okay, well, the broken windows and all this rung the media. Oh, well, we don't want fires or this. You know, we can keep going, but at the end of the day, then you'll say, well, the fires brung this, and the feds came, and when the feds came, people came, and then out of all the people, you got allies. So it's like, when you look at it from that aspect, you realize that you needed all those things to get to the point that
we wouldn't be here if it weren't for all those different.
So if we start taking away from any of this, like when we start taking away from any side of this, we start losing the magic. Uh-oh. Yeah, sorry, thank you.
A lucky ring?
Yeah, that's mine. See, I've been losing weight. It started just slipping off. These hundreds and hundreds of days is like, it's got a toll, taking a toll on me. But yeah, no, but without all those aspects, we wouldn't be here. And you have to stop yourself and embrace the entirety, you know, this whole thing. And that's what I do for myself. It's like when I start falling and leaning a certain way, obviously I don't like certain things because it's not me. But just because it's not me doesn't mean it doesn't need to be. I don't need to be there, you know, or I don't need to, because my energy is gonna pull left. So, and I think that we all need to understand our place, stay in our place, learn how to organize enough where we can respect those other sides, they can respect us, and go after the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say that this is a movement or these are protests without leaders or masters, and then everybody on every side is like, we can't do this or we can't do that. Yeah, I agree with you. It wouldn't have gotten to this point if it weren't for these different groups. So I appreciate you saying that and recognizing that as well, because
you going over to the other spot? I just seen the house. No. It's another.
Here, let me turn the volume off.
Okay, hold on. I didn't want to.
Okay, you guys, I am so hungry. Wishing I had donuts right now. Like, what I would do for a donut and a coffee right now. Thanks. Mixes sticks. So anyway, I'll let you be on your way soon, but
okay. You got more for me.
But yeah, if you have any last things to add to the conversation, I appreciate it, because I really love what you're saying. I love how you're not like putting one group down, or I really love what you're saying. So I really appreciate you. How long have you been out in Portland, or?
Like far as since 2013.
Oh, okay. So you've been out here for a while.
Yeah, 2013. So what does that make it? Make it longer than you. Look, don't. Why you doing
8
the
years?
math in your head? No, but see, I went through a family situation where I had.
I'm gonna go closer just because my microphone isn't that great.
Yes. Okay. So I don't have to get into that part though. But yeah, I've been here since 2013. I actually left the country because I needed to. I had to find my heart and power myself up because something knew that I was gonna be in this position. And the gods put me in place and gave me everything I needed to fight. So, and I ended up back here. So yeah, since 2013. I don't know. Let me see your
Love
nails
it.
again. One more time.
What's that?
Let me see your
Oh, the nails?
Yeah, okay, there you go. Have a good day.
Yeah, I really appreciate you. Thank you for letting me have some of your time to chat with you. Philip has said, I'm streaming for Halospace right now, and Philip, I'm sure you know him, you talked to him, and he said a lot of good things about you. So I'm glad I'm finally.
I don't know.
So I'm glad I finally get the chance to chat with you about your views and protesting and all of that. So I don't know. I feel like this is the beginning of police accountability. I feel like it's just the tip of the iceberg. I feel like there's a long way to go. If we get enough people to realize that we need to make changes within our system, I think it will happen eventually, but it won't be overnight. One more question.
Okay,
what do you think about abolishing the police? This is a tough one too, I know. Are you about reform? Are you about abolition?
See, abolition. I'm an abolition within myself, because you can't be an abolitionist if you don't start with yourself. Like if you don't, because you can say all the words, but if you don't abolish the system within yourself, then you can't do it external either. So obviously, the question you have to ask yourself: if we abolish the police, then Chauvin comes home. Are we ready for that? And that's all I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. I like what you said about, having to abolish ourselves, because we are part of the system. Like everybody in the US, probably beyond, are part of the system. Like we're all embedded in that system. And I think before we can change the judicial system, the policing system, we need to make changes within ourselves and our thoughts, in our minds and our hearts. Because we're all racist deep down. We're all not all of us, but there's that systemic racism that plays a part, and we're all like, most of us are set in our ways. So I think we need to change ourselves, like you said. I definitely agree with you, and I think that's a great way to look.
Because people I just like to give an example, because I just love to listen to people when they say things, because they go from a democracy to hypocrisy like that quick.
Okay.
And when you say stuff like, I'll abolish the system and I'm going to buy a piece of land and I'm going to build a community. Okay, how you going to get the money? Well, I'm going to get a loan. You lost it. You're right back in the system again. Who are you going to buy? Well, no, I'm not. I'm just going to get a loan. But if you get a loan, you're borrowing from the system. Who you got to pay back? Who's going to tell you no? Who's going to own it when you miss it? Miss the payments. So little stuff like that is like, this is what I mean. Like if you're gonna abolish anything, you have to abolish it within yourself, or it's not true.
Can't really be reflected out into the world.
Right. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So the easiest thing that we can do is like, I don't believe in certain things. I walked away from my job, right? And I haven't looked back, because that's me abolishing the system. Thinking about houses, I made myself houseless because I was me abolishing the system. Not because I had to, it's because I wanted to do it. And that's personal, and I think that these decisions are personal decisions, and it's not so much public. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are pushing these ideas on people that's not prepared to do it. They look really.
They looked happy.
Yeah, they did. I don't know if they're gonna make it home though. It just don't sound like it.
They're kind of swerving a little bit, but best of luck to them.
So,
Anyway. No. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we were talking about abolition. I think we kind of covered that. There was kind of like a side topic, and I forget where we were going with that.
you just like asking me more questions.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I think it's pretty late. I want to let you get back to it. It's already 12:37. So, but yeah, if you have anything else.
Well, if nobody told y'all today, let me be the first to say I love y'all. Good night.
All right. Thank you, Seneca, so much for your time. I really appreciate you.
What was your name again?
Carissa Dez.
Okay, so now I gotta look for you.
Carissa, Carissa, on all platforms.
Okay. Well, yeah, you have to say it.
I'll reach out to you. I'll reach out to you. Yeah, Philip talks him up all the time, and I follow him on Instagram, and his lives always come up, so I'll always like check in on his lives. But it's almost 1, and I'm tired, so let's go home, everybody.
Let's go.
Everybody, I looked around and everybody's gone. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling tired. Look at these eyes. Anyway, peace, love, donuts. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you got something from those interviews. I did 3 different lives with interviews. So, all right, let me end this live right now. Yeah, hopefully you learned something about the people on the ground in Portland. Most people I talk to are involved in the protests. Some have been random people who I bumped into. So, yeah, I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I gained from these conversations. So, hope you did too. Have a good night. Much love.